My next role is to warmly introduce someone very special, ahead of a very special event where we're going to have our volunteer awards supported by Rosterfy, but to kick it off, we've invited the Right Honourable Minister for the Community and Voluntary Sector, Louise Upston. So we're very lucky to have her here today because she's got a lot of portfolios: tourism and hospitality, social development and employment, disability issues, also the MP for Taupo, and child poverty reduction. Did I miss anything? No. Please warmly welcome Minister Upston up. She's been a huge supporter, and you can see by the work that she does, and she has done over a long time, that she is someone who gives and gives to community and understands our sector. Oh, move off. Thank you. I'll just tidy up a little bit.
Kia ora everybody, and it's fantastic to be with you here this afternoon. Second year of attending this amazing event, and I came in looking at the sparkly ceiling, and I thought, how fitting. How fitting for a room full of people who do amazing sparkly things for other people each and every day. So I thought that was a nice kind of connection, and Michelle, it's great to be back with your team. And as Michelle was saying, there's lots of crossover with my portfolios, and if I think about just the last week and some of the organisations that I've interacted with in my own electorate, was attending a Gold Star for a volunteer firefighter in Turangi and Tonganui Kingi. But it was really interesting because he wasn't just a volunteer, and he'd been the fire chief in a small brigade in Turangi for 9 years, but he's also been on the community board and involved with so many different community organisations. And I think that's one of the things that really I love about this portfolio, because many people who volunteer don't just wear one hat, they wear multiple. And then I spoke yesterday to the New Zealand Cycle Trails conference, and we wouldn't have cycle trails around New Zealand if it wasn't for community and volunteers. And what do they provide? They provide for fitness, for recreation, for health benefits, for environmental benefits, but also assets that make our towns, our small communities, really amazing places to live and recreate, as well as places that they attract international visitors. And then yesterday morning I escaped the madhouse of Parliament and went out to Riding for the Disabled. And it wasn't just the Wellington organisation, but the New Zealand wide entity as well. And just the breadth and a number of conversations over several days of just the really amazing impact that volunteers have on the lives of others. So I just want to start by saying thank you. Thank you for being here, for investing in yourself and your organisations. And I know often voluntary organisations, you are scarce for time and resources, so it says a lot for your commitment to be investing in the time here today. And when I was reflecting on the way here, some of the words that always kind of spring to mind is the incredible optimism that the voluntary and community sector has. And no matter what challenges we face as a country or as communities, it tends to be the community and voluntary organisations who stand up, jump up first, lead the charge of whatever it is that we need to get through that particular challenge, whether it's circumstances of a town or a community. I look at one of my own communities in Tokoroa that's been fairly knocked around recently with significant job losses. But what really shows through is the community. And I spoke to the local E2 union organiser the day after the announcement came of another 120 job losses. And he said, the thing that really stands out for me in this community is how much the community is there for one another. So, yep, it's another challenge that none of us wanted, but by pulling together, we'll get through it. And it's the connections that you and your organisations make available for others that make those challenges so much easier to face. So the resilience that your organisations lead that enables others who are facing challenges, whether as individuals, as whānau, or as communities, or as a country, that really provide the richness, and it's the generosity that you provide to others that's so important. And so I'm really hoping that in terms of your discussions today, they've been really fruitful in terms of enabling to kind of look at then what are the challenges ahead and how do we face them together. Because there'll always be challenges, there'll always be change, and just listening to the very tail end of that panel, it's really exciting to hear what some organisations are doing. And it is so important that we kind of embrace people throughout their life cycle. One of my boys had a conversation with me last weekend, and he's working and he's studying and he's single, and he said to me, I've got some time on my hands, I'd like to do some voluntary work. How do I pick? And I actually found it a really challenging thing to answer because at the end of the day, it has to be something you're connected with. So I kind of said to him, you need to reflect and think about what it is that's a connection for you personally, because when you give yourself over to an organisation, it has to be authentic. And I was blunt with him. I tend to be blunt with people. I said to him, if you're doing it because it's something you think looks good on your CV, don't bother. Don't bother. He's 27, he's in a great job. It's not that he needs it on his CV. But I said, if there's a group of people that are really good bullshit detectors, it's those who work in the voluntary sector. So they'll spot you a mile off. Because, what we want is people who are connected to the causes that we're passionate about and how we grow and grow the impact through the organisations we lead. And as the circumstances become more challenging, it is more important that as volunteer leaders, you are equipping yourself and your organisations with those skills as well. I'm always really terrible at these things because I get given great notes and then don't look at them at all, and I get completely lost. But one of the highlights for me is the opportunity to recognise volunteers. And one of the highlights of the year is, of course, the month of June, where we get to have the big shout-out campaign and then also National Volunteers Week. And in Wellington, in Parliament this year, it was incredibly moving to be able to recognise and award 3 volunteers who really exemplified the spirit of volunteering. So I was really excited when I got the invitation to come today to be part of the very first National Volunteer Awards. And these awards are different, and they go well beyond just celebrating acts of volunteering. They focus on the ways that volunteers are supported and developed, and how individual organisations elevate the quality and sustainability of volunteering across New Zealand, which I think is really important because somebody might volunteer with your organisation today and then next month or next year might be considering volunteering in another place or with another cause. And the experience that you give them gives them the confidence to then choose another organisation. So I really want to acknowledge the systems and hard work of so many of the unsung heroes who enable volunteers to thrive. And I want to thank Rosterfy for being a vital partner in this and the driver for these national awards that we are going to have for the first time today, and to be able to see volunteer recognition grow in scale and prominence through the development of these National Volunteer Awards. So I'm really committed, and our government's really committed to ensuring that volunteering continues to thrive. I see my job is looking at what are the barriers that get in the way of you and your organisation having maximum impact. And so that's the work that with the Community and Voluntary Services team in DIA is top of mind. What are the barriers? What are the regulations? What are some of the silly things that get in the way of you maximising your impact? And I know a lot of those things you've discussed today. So I'm really looking forward to how can we lift that up and make sure that there is not kind of a duplication of effort across the way. So to Michelle Kitney, the amazing Michelle Kitney and your team, thank you for bringing this hui together, this gathering today. And I know each and every one of you will get value having been here, but also to Marg, Nicola and Heidi for making it happen. Congratulations for today's successes. And the connections that you make at events like this, or the reconnections for those of you who are regulars connecting in the world of volunteering New Zealand. As I say, thank you for making this investment in you and your organisation, and for maximising the impact that each and every one of your organisation will have. And can I just ask one thing? Can I ask you, when you go back to your organisations, on behalf of myself as the Minister and the government, of which I know the impact you have on the lives of New Zealanders is extraordinary, please pass on my thanks.
You know, Minister, I've been wondering all day when I've been walking around why people are buzzing when I get near them. And now I know it's because their bullshit monitor's going off. Because that's about all I've got. I just wanted to say too how lucky we are to have Louise as our Minister. I've been in a privileged position to be able to work quite closely with her and her staff, sometimes working in her office, and being able to support her in the community and voluntary sector portfolio. And it makes a huge difference. I think I just really want to thank you for being a kind-hearted and dedicated and just a good human, and allowing all of those things to flow through to how you look at and engage with this sector. So thank you. We are lucky to have you as Minister. It's fantastic. And now, hopefully, if I've blown enough smoke up her bum, she will agree to replicating a photo we did last year.
As long as we get all the sparkles in.
Yep.
How are we going to get the sparkles in, Curtis?
AI, Andrew? So I asked everyone earlier, we're going to take this photo, especially in this middle section. I want a whole lot of arms in the air, I want a lot of noise, I want funny faces, and I don't want to ask twice. Okay, so everyone here. Selfie time, come on! I'll come down to your level. And again, more. Around the room. Come on! Lovely, thank you guys. Thank you, Minister.
And we got lots of sparkles in it, just so that you know.
We did, yeah. It looks like a 1980s lolly convention with all the sparkles. Right, what I'd like to do now is, as we do move into the awards part of the day, is to welcome up Shannan Gove from Rosterfy. Shannan, actually, Rosterfy is a workforce and volunteer management platform that's had a huge impact in a really small amount of time. It was really great to hear the panel talk about how they utilise Rosterfy, and I know, talking to Michelle, how impactful the platform can be. I want to talk about Shannan and the fact that, as one of the co-founders of Rosterfy, last year they won the Young Entrepreneur of the Year in technology. They were awarded that by Business News Australia. I can tell you that is much better than the Old Entrepreneur of the Year. It's much more coveted, so well done for winning that. And just want to thank you and your team for partnering with Voluntary New Zealand and bringing around the inaugural National Volunteer Awards. It's something that I think we've been wanting for a while, and being able to kick it off this year, and I'm sure that it will grow and grow and grow in future years. So thank you for that partnership. Thank you for agreeing to be part of this, and please come up, and the floor is yours. Shannan Gove, everybody.
Thank you, and kia ora, everyone. So it's a long time coming, I think, for these awards, Michelle. It's a real thrill to be here today and to be involved. So I just wanted to say, Michelle, thank you so much for the opportunity, firstly, for us to be involved, and also to our team, Tatiana and Kelsey, who are here, have put a lot of hard work in this year alongside, really as an extension of the team, to make sure that these awards came to life, because it's this line of work that you're all in is extremely rewarding in terms of the end outcome that you get to see, but I think the recognition is a piece that is missing in this industry in particular, and I think this group of people are the last people to put their hand up to say that they need it sometimes, and can get a bit forgotten. And I think this is a really important first iteration of this. I want to be really clear, we want to stay here and be part of this for a long time to come, Michelle, and continue to invest in your great country and these awards. So yeah, we're really pleased to be here, so thank you. For those that I haven't met yet, my name's Shannan, and given this is the first time I'm actually introducing myself, I wanted to give you a little backstory about who I am and why are we even here? What does this matter to us? So as a university student studying sports management in Australia, really struggling to get a job at the end of the degree and seeing lots of students like me, and just by coincidence going, well, I need to start volunteering and get some casual work. And through that experience, realising, hey, there's lots of motivated people like myself that want to help and do this sort of work as well. And through that experience with my cousin and business partner now, realising, hey, we can help connect young people to work that they really care about, to help progress their career, and maybe it doesn't take them down sports management. Maybe they realise that it's not for them, but at least have experienced that and can go in a different direction. Fantastic. And so from 2010 to 2015, we grew that business, at the time was called Event Workforce, into one of Australia's largest event placement companies. We had 25,000 young Australians at each key university around the country, doing about 1,500, 2,000 events a year. And we had spreadsheets going everywhere. And every key uni had a different system they were sort of engaging with. And we had trying to work around a CRM, an SMS system, an email system, all things that I think this room would be pretty familiar with. And so at the time, we're like, well, we looked around, there wasn't anything designed for mass workforce management. And we were like, well, we need to develop our own thing to solve our own problem. And so we brought in some friends at the time at uni to develop a reg form and some other things. And then we had clients in the industry saying, hey, can we use this reg form thing that you built? And we said no for 12, 18 months, because we're like, this is ours, and we really care about these young people that are getting into work. But I guess through that experience, what we developed was, what we care about is how do we help people connect, and how do we connect people to causes and to events that they're really passionate about, and make it easy, because it should be easy. And so that's how Rosterfy came about. And just yesterday I got the notification. It's been 9 years since we started Rosterfy and have been on this journey. And what we want to be is the best in the world at managing mass workforce in a central platform. So that's who we are, and I just wanted to make sure I introduced myself properly. So it's as I said at the start, it's a real honour to be part of these awards. And there's two key awards here today. The first is the Emerging Leader Award. And so we have some shortlisted candidates in there, which I'll get to shortly. And also the second is for the New Zealand Volunteer Porgramme of the Year. And so if I think about these two awards, especially for the Emerging Leader, about 4 years ago, we actually started a podcast called The Engaged Volunteer to interview volunteer leaders. And we ran 3 full years, three seasons of this, and we should pick it back up again. But the commonality of all of these stories of these leaders was there's no uni course to be a volunteer leader necessarily. People have come to this from all different walks of life, and there's no linear way that anyone has found their way to this room today. And I think the deep thing that connects everyone is about that you care about your community and the people that you support. And so I think today, these emerging leaders that have been shortlisted from a lot of applications, so you should feel very proud to be shortlisted, this really recognises you. And so the second is the Volunteer Porgramme Award. And that's a proper team effort, and it takes an army sometimes to get to these places. a lot of mistakes, and you learn from them and you keep getting better and evolving. And going through the list of applications was really difficult to find the best because there are so many great ones. So they're the two awards that we're presenting today. So now, whoever's driving the slides, we might move on to the Emerging Leaders Awards. Now, the first time running this, so I think that what we'll do, I'll read out the names and you'll come up, because we wanted to award everyone that was shortlisted and give them a little award to say thank you and well done. And I think stand up the front here for those 5, and then we'll bring up the 5 from the Programme of the Year, and they'll all stand up here as well and get their well done. And then at the end, we'll present the winners, okay? So the first one for New Zealand Emerging Leaders is Nikki Shave. So Nikki, if you want to come up. Good on you, Nikki. Yeah, it is. No worries. Okay, and the next one is Beth Jobin, back on the stage from New Zealand Field Days. The next one is Stephanie Harlan from Alzheimer's Tauranga. Not here? Okay, we'll move on to the next one. Gary Mitchell, Predator-Free Granada Village. He wasn't, okay, just this morning, yep. And Verena Pshorn from Volunteering Northland. All right, so that concludes the shortlisted award winners for the Emerging Leader. So give them a round of applause. I'll read the next ones. Yep. All right, and then the next ones up will be for the New Zealand Volunteer Programme of the Year. Okay, so the first one up is Ballyfull, New Zealand. Back up on stage. And then Red Frogs, New Zealand. And Orange Sky. New Zealand Land Search and Rescue. Waikato Bay of Plenty Cancer Society. All right. Thank you, everyone, for coming up. And so the first award for the winner that we're going to announce is for the Emerging Leader. Okay, so where are we? Here we go. Everyone's up here now. We've got the novelty-sized checks hidden at the back here. And Tatiana has done an amazing job creating these beautiful trophies that we'll be handing out for the first time. So, the volunteering leader, there was 2 that won it this time around by the judges' categories. Number 1 was Nikki Shave. Nikki. And this one for Nikki.
Very exciting.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
Perfect. And the next one, unfortunately couldn't make it this morning, but is Gary Mitchell from Predator-Free Granada. Do you want me to read this one? Yeah, I'll read it. Okay, and now the Programme of the Year. Amazing shortlisted candidates up here. But the winner is Orange Sky. So, yeah, a big round of applause. Well done to everyone. Congratulations.